Alright, today we're going to take a look at Al Green's rendition of the hymn, How Great Thou Art, that was covered in my YouTube short number 6. Now we're going to take a look at the score, we're going to try to make some sense out of it, we're going to try to get some new ideas by breaking things up to little pieces that we can assimilate into our own playing. And at the end of the video, there's going to be a bassless track that you can practice to. Now, as Sam Reich says,
the only way to learn is by playing. The only way to win is by learning, and the only way to begin is by beginning. So without further ado,
let's begin. Now, this is usually what we get at church. You know, there's enough information to muscle through the song. There are lyrics, there are chords, and there's sections. But there's not really enough information to actually learn the song. You know, there's no beat placement. There's no melody, there's no form. For our purpose today, we're going to take a look at the score. Now, don't get intimidated by all of this. We're going to break it down on how I would extract useful information to make some music. Let's start with how fast this song is. It's 92 BPM, that's not fast, it's moderately. There are 16 bars here, that's the form. 4 bars a line, 4 bars. And the key is in F major, 1 flat. And it's 1 chord a bar. So that gives us enough space to play with. And 1 chord per bar, I can see that on beat 1, it's playing the root of the chord. So first beat F, it plays an F, it plays a B flat, plays an F in a higher octave, G minor, it plays a G, C, and etc., etc. So as long as I play the root on beat 1, I'm fine. I'm not going to get lost. Also, it looks like these first 2 bars are the same as these 2 bars, identical, and these 2 bars, bars 5 and 6 are identical to bars 13 and 14. So I just need to read the 4 bars and I've got like half the song done already. All right? So I see some shape, some patterns coming up. What other patterns can we see? If we break it down on the beat, it looks like on beats 2 and 4, there's a rest on beats 2 and 4. And that happens on almost every bar. Not there, but yeah, beats 2 and 4. And that is very common. That's not uncommon in Motown music or in bass playing. We leave the 2 and 4 empty so that the snare pops out. Because that's where the backbeat is. That's where the snare usually hits on beats 2 and 4. So now that I know beats 2 and 4 are empty, I can see a shape coming out even more. Like there's a quarter note on beat 1 and there are 2 eighth notes on beat 3. And this ghost note here, this 16th ghost note appears in, well, there's a ghost note or an approach, 16th note, approach note to beat 3. So that's the basic groove. Let's try out the basic groove. It would look something like that. So let's give it a go.
And sing my soul, my Savior God to thee. That's when I start singing. How great thou art. Oh, I love you, Jesus. How great thou art. Oh, and sing my soul, my Savior God to thee.
All right. Now, if we were to play that, I don't think anyone would fault us. Now let's add some melodic approach notes. Now approach notes happens just before a chord change. It targets the next chord. It answers the question, how do we get to the next chord? There are many ways you can do that, but let's analyze what kind of approach this recording uses. So we know what happens here. We don't have to read that. We're just going to read the 8th note before the next chord. So that's our approach note. So here it takes a full step. So we call it one step. So one step. And here it goes a fifth. Now, how do you know this is a fifth? So if we're looking at the next chord, F, A, C. C is the 5th note, and this is a C note. So it's using the 5th note of the next chord to get to the next chord. So we'll see more of that later. Here, like in this case, it does the same thing, uses the C to go to the F. Here, to get to the G minor, it goes half a step, a chromatic approach. Here, C, E, G. 5th of C is G, and it uses a 5th here. It plays the G note to get to the C chord. Here's a 5th, uses a C to get to the C. Yeah, uses a C to get to the F. Here is a step. A step is like, it's part of the scale. In F major, the song's in F major, it just uses a B flat to get to C, a whole step to get to C. To get to the F from an A, C to the F, it uses the 5th. Here it uses a step, a 5th to come down. You can do that as well. Doesn't always have to be a 5th to go up. You can use a 5th to come down. Here it uses the 5th because G, B, D uses the D note. That's a D. To get to the G minor, here's a 5th. Here's a 5th. Here's a 5th. There's a whole bunch of 5ths here. So that's how this song approaches the next chord. It just uses the 5th. Let's try this out.
And sing my soul, my Savior God to thee. That's when I start singing. How great thou art. Oh, I love you, Jesus. How great thou art. Oh, and sing my soul, my Savior God. It just goes to thee. Sing it, how great thou art. Oh, Jesus, how great thou art. Let me say one more thing. Then sing my.
Okay, so now there's a lot more movement. We have the basic structure, the basic groove. It's on beat 1 and beat 3. There's a ghost note approaching beat 3, and there is an 8th note approaching the next chord. Now let's take a look. Let's go back to the score. Let's go back to what was originally written. Now, knowing all these things, let's take a look back at the original score to see what tools were employed in it. Well, we know beats 1, 2, and 3 is the basic pattern, but their melodic approach to the next chord is a little busier. So we're going to analyze every one of them to see what kind of approaches they use. So the first one, this is just step, step, step. This is scale. So it's a scalar approach to B flat. Do, re, mi, fa, it goes up there. Here it's still a 5th. It uses a pentatonic to fill up notes of the pentatonic or notes of B flat, but it still gets from 5 to F. Here it's a pentatonic. Here is a pentatonic fill. And here it's a chromatic or half step. For here it goes to the 5th, half step. Like this whole line is just a half step. It goes from A to B flat to B natural to C. It's all half steps all the way. This is 5th, it's just 1s and 5s. Here is the same thing as the first 2 bars, scale, 5th. Here is a triad do, mi, so. F major triad, so F, A, C. You got your F, you got A, you got your C, and it goes to the 5 to get to the G. It's a 5, 5, 5. And there you have it. Although it's a lot of notes, but once you break it down like that, you can really see that actually it's just a fifth approach to the next chord. The rest, they're just using scale notes to fill it up, all pentatonic notes. Now, once you've learned all these sections and you've learned the parts, all the bass parts, following the way we just did it, and breaking things down and analyzing, again, the way we just did it, the next step is to throw it out the window. Now, sure, our role as bass players is to support the band and hold things down, but all these are superseded by music making. Making music is our primary role as the bass player. We need to use our ears to listen to what is good and what works and what doesn't, and not our eyes to what is written. So use your ears, keep practicing. There's a track at the end after this, so until next time.
Then sing my song, my Savior God to thee. That's when I start singing. How great thou art. Oh, I love you, Jesus. How great thou art. Oh, and sing my song, my Savior God. It just goes to thee. Sing it, how great thou art. Oh, Jesus, how great thou art. Let me say one more thing. Then sing my